What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? So I wanted to hit you guys with a little bit of guide content, what to play type stuff. Thank you guys for the support. All the videos have been killing it. The patch notes video that's up today is doing amazing, and you guys are seeing Jotun's is getting a little nerf, Transcendence is getting a little nerf. Those nerfs and Bumbas is getting a little nerf, but overall we're losing like 10 actual power, 8 actual power. We don't need to be building Transcendence. So that's the one good thing, because Jotuns and Crusher builds are a lot stronger right now for most junglers. So after seeing that and seeing the patch, you guys get to see it too. We can kind of tell for sure what the top 5 junglers will probably be for the next little while. So I want to make this video. Please make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, drop a comment. If you have any questions or mentions or questions, go for it. I read through these and I respond to them, so it's really helpful. And then also remember that if you're looking for extra content, the Weekend VODs channel is live. Daedra can put a link or somewhere, little thing pop up or something. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and jump into this, show you guys the top 5 junglers and get things going. So today's video is brought to you and sponsored by manscaped.com. You guys already know we've worked with them over and over and over throughout the last 4 or so years. They make amazing products. Their new performance package is out. It's the 4.0. It's paired with the lawnmower 4.0. You got the weed whacker in there. You got the, you guys already know weed whack, get up in the nose. You got your crop preserver, you got your crop reviver, and you got your magic mat to dispose of, you know, all the stuff you might not want. Because of 2 free gifts if you use the link below, which will get you 20% off. It'll come with the shed, with the travel bag, and it comes with some boxers, which I actually have the boxers like on order. Like, they get delivered to me every 3 months, I think is what it is, because they're top tier. They're actually really, really nice. So I recommend use the link, go grab the performance package 4.0, check out the new lawnmower, which is just a killer product. It's so good, being waterproof. It has the wireless charging now, the little dock, you pop it on so you don't have to go around with a cord everywhere. It's really useful and very, very convenient if you travel at all. If you just like to leave it sitting somewhere, you literally just leave it in the shower, it's not going to break, it's not going to mess up, you'll be good to go. Really nice products. Go grab yours. Like I said, links below, 20% off. All the extras, the free shipping, it's all there. Go get it. So number 5 on our list shouldn't be that surprising, I don't think. With the buffs and the changes to gods, there's a little bit of like a shift to the overall meta, obviously, right? We got ability junglers. But on top of that, other gods were changed, and Susano is one of those. So number 5, Susano on the list. Simple. His 3 has better clearing now. Pair that with an earlier Jotuns, with the earlier level 5 because of XP, and you have a god that gets through his worst levels, which is like 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, kind of terrible. And then after that, he's pretty strong, especially when he finishes an item. Also, they remove boots. So like all of that kind of brings Susano up a lot. He's got one of the best assassin team fight ults next to like the next god we're going to talk about. Just massive disruption, easy to hit, can really turn an entire fight. Knock up CC being the best CC in Smite. The ultimate is a massive AoE knockup. Really, really strong. As I mentioned, the 3's clear is way better now. It's not insanely better, but they buffed it, so it is a lot better. As long as you know how to auto attack cancel, you're really just kind of able to pump out an insane amount of damage right now. You are going Bumbas Hammer into a Bumbas Spear, as just has become super meta, really, overall. Here, I'm gonna remove this and actually put the Bumbas Spear in here just so you guys can see it. So Bumbas Spear having possibly the best stats on an item. It's basically a super buffed late game Jotuns. Is what Bumbas Spear is these days. Speaking of Jotuns, you will build in the Jotuns next. Then you will go into the Crusher right after that item. Building in the Crusher is going to allow for you to have even better clear, really good continuous damage. So once your abilities are on cooldown, you're able to keep autoing a bunch with that auto attack speed. You then have the flat pen, so you're pairing up another 2 flat pen items, 25 flat pen at this point in the game, meaning you're taking away 25 of the enemy's defenses. Sick. You've got a ton of power. They buffed Crusher, added power. In the next patch, we're going to lose 5 power on Jotuns, so this is still 2 items giving 85 power. Absolutely nuts. Then, as we mentioned, auto attack canceling. We're gonna do the Hydras here. Hydras is just core to Susano. When you play this god, you need to auto attack cancel. If you do not know what auto attack canceling is, so look at my video. I'll drop it in the description below, or you can look up weekend auto attack cancel. I break it down very smoothly on a bunch of gods. Essentially what you're doing is you will auto attack. So with your 3 on Susano, you would throw your 3 out, you'll auto attack 3, and while holding left click, it'll automatically auto attack again. Or with your 1, you'll 1, and while holding left click, it will auto attack, and then you'll 1 again, and while holding left click, you'll auto attack, and you can keep doing that and get auto attack cancels. You do this because that gap of time that's there is diminished. You're able to just instantly get an auto attack off. There's no gap between using the ability and the auto. So it makes him do more damage. You're also getting Hydra's procs off the 3, off the 1, off of 1, the first instance of the 1. None of the other instances give you auto attack cancels, give you Hydra's. They give you auto attack cancels, sorry. They don't give you Hydra's. The 2 will proc Hydra's and the ult will proc Hydra's. So it's basically a huge burst of damage 4 times. Not all gods can do that, and you need to realize that. You need to play around it. For a full damage build, you will then go into Heartseeker, and then you will round out the build where it's your choice. You can go into a Serrated Edge, which this item is an item I really like because for the extra movement speed, especially since we have buffed speed buff now as well. We're pretty quick. Or you could just go into a Titan's Bane, whatever you want. And then if you're really just struggling to survive, swap this out for a defensive item, or build the defensive item in place of Heartseeker and put the Heartseeker here, and that will be your full build. Boom. Susano, number 5 on our list. Next up is number 4 on our list. We got Hun Batz, as I mentioned during the Susano talk. Big, massive assassin ults being huge right now, and doing really well. Hun Batz, they fixed the cooldown back. They reverted it. So with full CDR, you're sitting at a decent timed ultimate cooldown. So he's better for more team fights in a meta where there's 20 kills at 10 minutes almost every game. The rest of his clears 3. He might be the best clearing assassin in the game because of his 3. He has really good mobility because of the 3 and the 1. You can throw a 3 at somebody, jump on them, do some damage, and then run away with the 1. And then you just have good AoE damage. And he's just spiking because of the damage you're getting out of the builds and the massive CDR you get initially at the start of the game while building Jotuns. Like I said, the ult's on a little bit longer cooldown at first. It gets down to a short cooldown, but because you can rush right into Jotuns before you ult, you can finish Jotuns right at level 5 if you're farming and playing the game for the first 5 levels optimally. That means your first ult is on a super short cooldown and you just get that many more ults during the game. Same builds though as most of the other assassins. We're going to go to Crusher. We are going to go into Hydra's here. We are going to go into the Heartseeker, and then your last item. Again, I personally like Serrated, but going into a Titan's Bane is an option. I'm just going to throw Serrated on here because it's my preference. I like the movement speed. I like the lifesteal. I like the stats you get off the item. Super strong. Really, really useful. So Hun Batz, number 4 on our list. So for number 3 here, it's going to be a little bit spicy. Look, I was on the fence about this initially, so don't yell at me. I don't even really like this god, but win rate wise, and from seeing it played and just kind of the overall ability to run through your casual and ranked games, like it's not even a pub stomp, it just is easy to play in those games where you kind of are able to just do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like as an assassin, when people are really grouped and playing together, it's a lot harder to do your job. But when you're in a pub game, you're in a casual or ranked where it's just people randomly queuing together, it does really well. Number 3 on our list is Bastet. Look, I get it. How the fuck is this possible, right? How in the world is this possible? Well, first of all, just want to mention, Bastet has the highest assassin win rate in the game and is almost one of the highest win rate gods in the game, period. Kali and Arachne still doing very well, but that's besides the point. Bastet is a literal full damage ability beast. And with the fact that we just added 30 to 40 power to our builds, if not more, realistically, because we weren't even building Bumba's Spear before. We were really building a lot of like mannequin hidden blades and stuff where you're getting 60 power. You're adding 40 power to a god's abilities that all have insanely high scaling, right? The 1 is 100% scaling. So you're adding a full 40 damage to this ability, right? The 2, 100% scaling. It hits 25%. The 25% scaling is what it's 4 times. So 100% scaling on the 2. Another 40 damage onto that, if not more. Then the 3 is 65% scaling, but then the cat's in-hand damage is 30% scaling. So it's 95% scaling. Almost another 40 damage to that. And then remember, your ultimate is just buffing all of that damage even more, right? So you're getting that extra 40 damage, and then when you're ultimated, you're doing 40% more damage, right? You're buffing all of your abilities. It just scales. It ramps up real quick, and the god hits so hard right now. It's actually scary. I do not think they'll be nerfing her because they're nerfing the items a little bit, but overall, she kind of just stomps everybody, dude, and you're basically just going for a massive damage build, right? You're just going for as much power and regular base stats as possible. So you're getting the Bumba's Spear, you're getting the Jotun's Wrath. You can go into Crusher here or Transcendence depending on what you want. Transcendence, if you want to start stacking early, I actually like to go Crusher here and then Transcendence. And the one thing with Bastet is she doesn't usually hit an ability in auto, so Hydra's isn't a massively important item, which makes Transcendence a perfect item for this slot. You then pair it with the Heartseeker, and then same situation, you can go into a Serrated Edge or you can go into a Titan's Bane. I personally like Titan's Bane in the event that you only get in range to hit the 2 or you only leap on them. So I've been going Titan's Bane in this slot. And when I tell you, you will one-shot everybody except for the tankiest tanks with this build, I'm not joking. You can see this with the build, like just these items. This is no buffs, no red potion, none of that. You're sitting at 360 power. That's without the stacks of Transcendence. And then with the extra mana. So you're sitting well above 400 power. Grab yourself a red potion, a 3k pot, a fire giant. If you're feeling greedy, you can grab the red buff. You one-shot everybody. You can literally, not even leaping, you can blink and 2 and 3 them, one shot. If you're ultimated, your 1 will one shot them. The damage is so insane right now that you need to go play it or watch some of the gameplay to understand how much damage she's actually doing. And she's easy to hit abilities on. You can play super slow and super careful and just look for blink engagements and play around your leap to get out all the time, other than when you're stomping a fight, you usually keep chasing. She's actually wild. I realize I'm probably gonna shit. Where the fuck did Bastet come from? Just trust me. I've talked to some people that are playing her at much higher levels. She's ridiculous. She is competitively viable. She can be played at the highest level of the game. She absolutely shreds through everybody. Her cooldowns are really good on her 1 or 2 and or 3 or with everything. Really, your cooldowns are fine now with everything because you're stacking CDR. She can kill without being ultimated. Usually you had to have your ultimate up to be like a really good team target, like team fighting god, right? She's an ult bot. That's how people would describe her. No, your 1 or your 2 can kill somebody right now without your ultimate. You do more than enough damage with these builds to just run her and play her like a normal assassin and be smart about it. I guarantee you start playing Bastet, your win rate is going to spike. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. That's number 3 on our list. Number 2 on our list, we talked about in the patch notes a whole bunch. It's actually not an assassin. It's our only non-assassin. It's Gilgamesh, and you are still going an ability build. All of his abilities do high damage, right? His 1 hits really hard, plus your autos are going to hit hard anyway. Dropkick hits really hard, crazy scaling and everything, a lot of damage. Your 3 hits decently hard, mainly for the movement, decent scaling. Ultimate hits really hard, really good scaling. You're getting 5% on the dot damage, you're getting 50% on the initial damage. He's just very strong. He's super tanky, he's high mobile, good CC, really good CC. His 2, his kick being one of the better CCs in the game as well, kind of rivaling knockups in my personal opinion. But then you're going Bomba Spear. It's just a normal build, man. Jotuns right into the Crusher. Here is where you can spice it up and go Hydras. I really like the Hydras burst, but it isn't something you absolutely have to do. It's kind of how you feel like the match is going out. I like Erendite by just the most by far. It's mainly just because of the insanely high power that's on it, and because every time you ultimate, you run up and auto attack them, so you get the Erendite passive every single time, right? Every single time. Plus, if they leap out of your ult, you can then chase them really easily and just stick on top of them. They can't get away. Very strong combo. And then you're pairing it with the same old Heartseeker, and I pair this every time with I keep going to the wrong one, with a Serrated Edge because of the movement speed, the lifesteal, the damage, the fact that you are auto attacking and hitting in between abilities. Very strong. If you need to swap out any items, you are able to do that. You can not go Erendite and go defense. Very strong with this build, or you can decide not to go Serrated and go with the defensive item. If you're wondering the defensive items, I think Magi's Cloak is probably the best defensive item for every jungler, because your initial initiation onto a fight will not be interrupted because of Magi's Cloak. You see in the SPL, they usually go a Magi's Cloak 3rd or 4th every game, and that's because at that level, if you engage, you're instantly targeted to try to get you out of the fight. If you can't be stopped, you're going to out damage that person and do your job really well. So Gilgamesh, number 2 on the list. The number 1 just released a video 2 or 3 days ago. It is the good old Ravana. He's not a warrior. I don't know why I'm under warriors. Used to be, not anymore. And it's just his kit is too strong. You have very high damage with insanely high scaling on a no cooldown, basically a 4 or 5 second cooldown, right? You have an immunity with really good damage, really good scaling. Scaling means you're just doing more damage because your power is super high on a good cooldown timer. It's longer, but this is your immunity. It can't be on a short cooldown. BOP. Even though it is really strong. 3, very long cooldown, but you have sustain, you have a really good setup, and you have very good damage and good scaling once again. And then your ultimate can be used to avoid damage. Decent cooldown once you're fully built up and you have 40% CDR. The damage is what's important here. 500 base, 100% scaling. This is 1,000+ damage ultimate. Very easily. It increases your damage. So you have for 1,000, and then you won them, and you're doing whatever this may be, 600-700 damage with 10% scaling. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I go the same standard build, and I get this question a lot, right? Like almost like once a day if I'm streaming, I get this question, and it's, why does every god have the same build? Look, if you sit down and think about it, these gods are all doing the same job, right? They're all playing the same position. And if you look at it in like terms of like sports and stuff, like this is their attributes, they're things that they're good at, right? And in certain positions in sports, you need to be really fast, or you need to be able to jump high, or you need to be strong, or you need to be able to throw hard, right? These guys are all doing the same exact thing. They need to be good at the same exact stuff. So these stats are going to buff those things to make sure they can do their job. That's why the builds are very, very similar all the time. This is another god I'm going Erendite. This is basically him and Gilgamesh are built almost the exact same. If you're looking for just optimally building the gods, it's the same builds, same stuff over and over again. These builds will one-shot everybody. You should be diving onto the mages, the hunters, or killing the enemy assassins, whoever's squishy, and they will automatically insta-kill them every single time. So with that being said, that's number 1 on our list. You know what they are. You got Ravana number 1, Gilgamesh number 2, Bastet number 3. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. I know. I'm sure these comments will be like, where the hell? Trust me. Just trust me. Go play it before you cry about it and yell at me. Try it. Trust me. Hun Batz number 4 and Susano number 5. A lot of ability assassins really just running things. And then remember that tomorrow night we have the PTS going up. I will get gameplay up as soon as I play it for the new god, Kleena. I think this god is going to absolutely wreak havoc in your games when she comes out. I really do. I'm excited to play her. So hopefully these top 5 gods help you guys win some games. You know what to play now. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Please, 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 please hit the like button. Make sure you subscribed. And thank you guys for supporting me. It means the world. You guys are awesome. I will see you on the video till later tomorrow, the next day, and the next day.